frustration. That was what everyone involved with the Alabama football program was feeling during the 2002 season for two main reasons. Off-the-field improprieties by the coaching staff under Mike DuBose had landed the Tide on severe NCAA probation, keeping an extremely talented Bama team from postseason play. And on the field, it had been 7 years since the Tide had posted a victory against one of its biggest rivals, the Tennessee Volunteers. Well, the men of the 2002 version of the Crimson Tide couldn't do anything about probation, but they could do something about that losing streak to the Vols. A senior-laden team of players tired of losing to UT headed to Rocky Top for the third Saturday in October and another Crimson Classic. Welcome to Crimson Classics. I'm Gary Harris. The year 2001 was a time of upheaval and change for the Alabama football program. After all, the Tide was coming off a disastrous 2000 campaign, which began with high expectations and a number 3 national ranking, but ended with a 3-8 record and a coaching change. The tenure of Mike DuBose did bring an SEC championship in 1999, but it also brought an NCAA investigation which eventually led to extremely harsh penalties. But no one knew how harsh they would be when, for the first time since Bill Curry was hired in 1987, Bama went outside the family for its new coach. Dennis Franchione took over the program after a successful, albeit short, stint at Texas Christian University. Bama fans were hoping he would bring stability during a tumultuous time. Now, whether or not that would be the case remained to be seen. But what he did bring was discipline and strict and efficient practices.
What was real weird for me is they had that clock, everything set on that clock, and you had the timer, and I just thought that was real weird, because with DuBose, yeah, you had a set time, you knew that this period's gonna be 15 minutes or whatever, but they could have been stretching out to 30 minutes, you didn't know, but with that clock, you could sit there and watch it, and at first I thought I was gonna like it. I thought you can sit there and watch that clock, and okay, I got this much left in practice. Well, man, I think that's the slowest clock of all time. You just sit there and, if you stare at a clock, obviously, it's going to seem longer. You're always sitting there between plays, just looking, wondering when this next period's going to be over. And really organized, real fast pace. You sprinted between drills. And, I liked this format. I thought it was really good.
Coach Fran was the complete opposite of Mike DuBose. Now, Fran had no previous connection to Alabama, was a strict disciplinarian, and seemed to have a plan for everything. Now, most people liked playing for Coach DuBose and liked him as a person. That wasn't necessarily the case with Fran, at least at first.
When Coach Fran came in, he was the complete opposite of Coach DuBose. We played under Coach DuBose. There was no emphasis on special teams. It was more, we're going to line up, we're going to beat you, physically beat you. Coach Fran had the similar philosophy of that as far as being bigger, faster, and stronger, but Coach Fran came in and basically said, I don't care who started, I don't care who did what, I don't care what's happened before I got here. Everything's going to change, you're going to earn your spot, you're going to do this, and you knew coming in you're going to be playing, every day was going to be hard. They were going to test you, they were going to work you, and they let you know, they told you, you're going to wake up and not want to be here most days, but it's going to make us win games. Basically the first impression was just, he's crazy. He's going to hurt all of us, but he knew what he was doing.
After 8 games, Bama was 3-5, including losses to Ole Miss, South Carolina, LSU, and their 7th straight defeat at the hands of Tennessee. But then at home against Mississippi State, something clicked. Bama won that one 24-17, then trounced Auburn 31-7 at Jordan-Hare Stadium and beat Southern Miss in a downpour at Legion Field. A 14-13 win over Iowa State in the Independence Bowl gave Bama a winning record in 01 and gave them momentum for 02. Unfortunately, the NCAA would do a lot to kill that momentum. Shortly after the 02 season began, harsh penalties were handed down to Alabama for actions during the DuBose era. Included in the penalties, staggering scholarship losses and a 2-year bowl ban. Plus, any player could transfer without penalty. But behind Fran's mantra of hold the rope, only the players did.
It turned out that it was a little worse than he expected it to be. And it wasn't too much for any of us, but it turned out it may have been too much for him because he brought the slogan along with him, you know, hold the rope. And we were holding that rope, man, I swear. In the locker rooms, you would walk around, you couldn't walk down the aisle of the locker room without seeing a piece of rope on somebody's locker. Some people even put it in their girdle when we played in the game just to, you know, insinuate that I'm gonna hold my part and I'm not gonna let my teammate down. And evidently, he lost that focus of what he had instilled in us, but it stuck with us. It was a good thing because it kept us all together. None of my class transferred.
Despite not being eligible for a championship, there's no denying that the Crimson Tide was one of the most talented teams in the SEC in 2002. Bama went 5-2 through the first 7 games, with the only losses in Norman to Oklahoma and a 2-point loss at home to Georgia. That brought a trip to Knoxville and the hated Tennessee Volunteers, complete with the Tide's 7-game losing streak to their rivals from the north. Combine the streak with Philip Fulmer's involvement with the NCAA's investigation against Alabama, and Tide fans, well, they really wanted this one badly.
They'd beaten us like 7 years straight, and I just remember a lot of the guys talking about, you know, we need to end this streak. And you know, you could just kind of feel it. Bobby Humphrey came and talked to us that week, so it was exciting to see Bobby come back and he talked to us, and he told us how much he disliked the Tennessee Volunteers and that how we needed to go down there and in the street. You know, like I said, they had beaten us 7 years, so you know, it was just a good feeling. Like we said, we had a good week of practice, and you know, I think as soon as we stepped out the bus, I think a lot of the guys knew that, you know, the streak was going to end that night.
Prior to that, every year, we built that game up. Tennessee had some really good football teams then. That was probably at the pinnacle of their program. I mean, they were good. They were good year in and year out. But I think that we lost to them for so many years, not because of anything that they were doing, but because of what we were doing. Coach Fran had brought in former players that had played here. He brought in Bobby Humphrey and David Smith, guys who had played against Tennessee and had a lot of success. I remember David Smith coming in and talking to us, talking about how he had gone up to Tennessee and played with a torn ACL. They were favored. There's no way that we're going to be able to beat them. But just standing in the pocket and throwing and playing, we were able to overcome that and beat them. And that helped a lot. It helped a lot. But we still had that little tense factor that was in the back of everybody's mind because it's been so long since we beat them. Can we get over the hump? Can we get back on a winning trend against Tennessee? Coach would open it up to some of the seniors and some of the captains. If they felt like saying anything, it's pretty much to anybody on the team. If you felt like standing up and saying something, stand up and say it. Jarrett Johnson stood up and said, my job this week is to control the A and B gap. He said, every one of us has been taught to do something this week. Do your job. Don't do more than you're asked of. Do your job.
When we return to Crimson Classics, Alabama heads to Knoxville in hopes of ending a 7-year losing streak. As usual, over 100,000 fans packed the stadium on the river, although that year, the rivalry known as the third Saturday in October was actually played on the fourth Saturday of the month. Tennessee won the toss and deferred, so the Tide received the opening kickoff. UT's Philip Newman boots it to the Bama 9. Triandis Luke returns it to the 26. On first down, Tyler Watts completes a swing pass to fullback Greg McLean, but the play loses 2 yards. McLean's number gets called again on second down as the up man. Tennessee stuffs him for another loss of 1. From the gun, Watts can't find anybody open, and Carlton Neal gets the sack for a loss of 6. Complete with a torn ACL, Lane Bearden hits a 45-yard punt. Nick Ridings downs the ball on the Tennessee 38. Let's listen to Eli Gold and Kenny Stabler on the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
1st and 10 Tennessee from their own 37. Wide outs either way. Starting set in the backfield as Clausen throws across the middle. Catch is made, and it'll be a nice crossing pattern to Tony Brown, who is number 2 on the ball club in receiving yards. Here's a 1st and 10 Tennessee with Brown and Scott the wideouts. The pitch back into the tailback slot. Turning the corner is the J Train, Jabari Davis, who picks up a yard on the right side. Herschel Bolden comes in. 5 defensive backs now for the Tide. It's a 2nd and 9 Tennessee from the Alabama 49-yard line. Wide outs either way. Backs in the eye. Clausen on play action. Rolls left and throws. It is caught on the near side by Witten, the tight end. He breaks a tackle and stays on his feet before going out of bounds at the 32. Freddie Roach finally puts him away. 1st and 10 Tennessee from the Bama 32. We've played 4 minutes of the ball game. We're scoreless. Into the lineup after injury, Cedric Houston. Clausen looks to throw. Going long, up over the middle. Nobody there, incomplete. On a 2nd down and 10. Wade, Tinsley, Witten, all wide to the far side. Snapping it from the 32 of Bama. Clausen, shotgun, gets it. Quick release, far side, off the hands. It is a lateral picked up by Alabama. It is a live football. It's going to be run back, and the Crimson Tide going to take advantage of that one with Gerald Dixon picking up the mishandled lateral in the backfield. 63 yards later, touchdown Alabama. It was indeed a backward pass, hence a lateral. It is a live football as it went off the hands of the intended receiver. Gerald Dixon picks it up, runs it 63 yards for an Alabama touchdown.
They tried to throw a backward lateral, and I'm not sure it wasn't going to be a double pass, but at the same time, it was a backward lateral by about a yard. And Gerald Dixon picked it up and took it to the house. I thought the official had to show a lot of guts at their stadium to make that call. It was a legitimate call, and it was a correct call. But scoring that touchdown that early in the ball game, there's no doubt that that was a big, big momentum builder for us, and it took a lot of air out of the sails of Tennessee.
I believe there's generally about 4 to 5 plays that are going to determine the outcome of a game. And the thing is, you just don't know which play it's going to be, so you got to play every play like, you know, this is going to be the play that changes the game. Gerald Dixon, I mean, when he made that play, that was kind of like, that was like a turning point in the game. And he picked that ball. It was a lateral, and I guess the receiver kind of thought it was an incomplete pass, and you know, Gerald picked it up and ran it in, and it was just like, you know, we kind of knew right then. We're like, man, we're gonna win this game because, you know, everything just kind of happened to be going our way.
Only one Tennessee player reacted to that pass because they just thought the running back, Jabari Davis, he just jogs like he just missed a pass or something. Gerald Dixon, it was a big heads-up play by him, you know, to scoop that ball up and take it to the house the way he did. And I just remember, you know, the sideline in the stadium. I remember looking to the stands and seeing one of the Tennessee fans like this, like, oh my God, you know, because if you get a defensive touchdown like that, that's hard to overcome. And that was a big play.
The Vols start their next drive from their own 24, behind 7-0 with only 3:50 off the clock. Jabari Davis up the middle for 8. An offsides penalty gives UT the first down, but Clausen's pass goes incomplete on 1st and 10. This time it's future Dallas Cowboy Jason Witten over the middle for 4, Charles Jones and Cornelius Wortham on the stop. After a Tennessee timeout, it's 3rd and 6 for the Vols as the rain comes down. Clausen overthrows James Banks, bringing up 4th down. Shad Williams takes the Dustin Colquitt 39-yard punt for a 4-yard return. It's 1st and 10 from the Bama 23. Watts runs the option on 1st down. He keeps it himself for a gain of 7. Tennessee native Santonio Beard takes the handoff on 2nd down, but loses his footing in the wet turf, no gain. Watts looks for Clint Johnston on 3rd down, but the underthrown ball is knocked away by Rashad Baker. Bama goes 3 and out. Tennessee starts its next drive from the 29 with 7:38 left. Clausen completes another first down pass as Leonard Scott makes the catch in front of Dixon for a first down. The constant audibles by Casey Clausen causes another miscommunication, and it's incomplete on first down. Tennessee tries some misdirection on second down, but Jabari Davis can't handle the pitch. However, he does recover his fumble on the UT 35. 3rd and 14 for Tennessee. Clausen completes it to Jomo Fagan, but it's short of the first, so Tennessee will have to punt. An illegal block on the punt puts Bama back on its own 8. Let's listen to Eli and Kenny.
Johnston in motion. Bama leads 7-0. Play action fake. Watts drops the ball, picks it up, and gets back to the 4. 2nd down and 14 for Alabama from their own 4. So with Tyler Watts working into the shotgun, he is standing in his own end zone. Johnston in motion. Santonio Beard the setback. Quick release far side. Johnson makes the grab out to the 7-yard line. The play will pick up maybe 3. 3rd and 12 Bama from their own 6-yard line, leading 7-0 in the opening quarter. Watch to throw. Tyler across the middle, overthrows Trey Fulgham around the 30-yard line, incomplete. Lane Bearden will get the snap about 2 yards in from the back line of the end zone. Good snap. The kick is nearly blocked, but it is not. Larkins makes the grab, fumbles the ball. Alabama recovers at midfield. Larkins fumbles it, and Bama will have it at the 48-yard line. A superb cover by the Alabama Crimson Tide, Chris James.
And just a great, great kick, Eli, out of his own end zone. The ball hung up there forever. The ball was past the 50-yard line. He kicked it out of his own end zone, a 55-yard kick. Good coverage by Alabama, and they're there when they muff the ball. Alabama with a big turnover, as we said, coming in our scouting report. 3-8 turnovers off the kicking game.
3:51 remaining in the opening quarter. Beard, the setback. Motion McClain on the option. Pitch, here comes the near side corner. Ray Hudson runs, weaves his way through traffic, gets loose down to the 31-yard line. Ray Hudson on the receiving end of the pitch on the option.
After a false start by the Tide, Santonio Beard goes for 14 yards before getting pushed out of bounds, setting up 2nd and short with under 3 minutes left in the opening quarter. From the Vols 22, Ray Hudson gets the first with a 3-yard run. In the Tennessee red zone for the first time, Bama tries the option, but Tyler gets stopped for a loss of 1. Watts rolls out on 2nd down, but can't find an open receiver. He keeps, though, for a gain of 5. After a delay of game sets up a 3rd and 11 for the Tide, Tennessee ends the quarter with a sack by Keon Whiteside. Despite struggling on offense, heads-up defense by Gerald Dixon gave Bama a 7-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter action ahead on Crimson Classics. As we head back to Knoxville for the second quarter, Kyle Robinson misses a 46-yard field goal, and the Vols take over on their 28. On 1st and 10, Clausen hands to Troy Fleming. He gains 4 before he's taken down by a host of Tide defenders. Backup quarterback / wideout James Bakes takes the direct snap on 2nd down, but he doesn't fool Naughton McKay Losher. The Toronto, Canada native pulls him down for a loss of 7. Bama forces a 3 and out after Brooks Daniels tackles Derek Tinsley on 3rd and long. A good punter can be such a weapon in a football game. Dustin Colquitt booms one. 62 yards later, and Bama is stuck deep in its own territory again. That's a career best for Colquitt. Starting from the 7, Tyler from the shotgun gives to Shaw. Check out that awesome spin move. An 18-yard gain, and Alabama is out from the shadow of its own goalpost. Another play, another Tide running back. Santonio Beard this time gains 7. The Vols stop the ground attack on second down. Carlton Neal makes the stop on Shaw. Bama decides to take a chance on 3rd and 3, going deep for Triandus Luke. But the Vols' Eddie Moore is Johnny on the spot. He tips it, and teammate Rashad Baker pulls it down. Tennessee football. Tennessee takes over at the 39. Cedric Houston for a gain of 3. Clausen avoids the pressure and finds his tight end Witten again. He gains 13 before Cornelius Wortham drags him down. On first down, Bama blitzes, but Clausen throws a quick, deep fade. Herschel Bolden is called for the pass interference, and it's another first down for Tennessee. Clausen wants to pass again on first down, but feels the pressure. He again avoids the sack, but killing Alabama's Freddie Roach corrals him at the Bama 27. Gerald Riggs goes for a couple on second down. Kendall Moorhead and Gerald Dixon team up to make the stop. 3rd and 5 for Tennessee from the Bama 25. Clausen rifles his pass, and it's a nice catch by Tony Brown. First down, Volunteers in the Bama red zone. Clausen drops back to pass on first down again, but somebody missed an assignment, and Tennessee native Kendall Moorhead is untouched and nails Clausen for the sack. After the Vols use another timeout with 6:50 remaining in the half, they try to set up the screen, but there are no eligible receivers in sight. 3rd down. Let's go back to the Alabama Radio Network for the call.
Here's a 3rd and 17 from the Bama 25. Man in motion. Brown. On the delay draw. The give, nothing there. Jarrett Johnson leads the attack at the 25. The football is loose. Fumble. Alabama's got the football, and now you hear the whistle. I believe Bama might have gotten it. The whistle never sounded.
Ball popped out of the bottom of a crowd. Really couldn't see the ball come out of there.
And as Alabama football, I believe, Jarrett Johnson made the hit. Alabama on the fumble recovery. Brody Croyle is the quarterback for Alabama. 1st and 10. Bama from their own 23, leading 7-0. Collins in motion. The Tide in the second quarter. Croyle on the spin, throws. Collins complete 30-yard line, gets put down by 3 men. Fumbles the football, picked up by Tennessee, and the Volunteers, Julian Battle, the right cornerback, picks up the football, and Tennessee's got it right back off a fumble by Sam Collins. Here's a 1st and 5 Tennessee from the Bama 17. 6 minutes to go until halftime. The Tide leads 7-0 off a defensive touchdown. On the give, left side, turning the corner. No, yeah, they run over Charlie Pepper. Charles Jones comes over to help as hard running by Tennessee from the Bama 12. 5:20 remaining in the opening half. Fleming and Riggs are the backs behind Clausen. Motion from the far side to the near for Tennessee. Clausen on the pitch outside. Turning the corner, Riggs gets stood up at the line of scrimmage, but should get a first down to the 11. Tony Brown wide left. 4 minutes, 55 seconds to go until halftime. Tight ends move. Witten winds up behind his teammate at tight end. Now Witten still dancing in the backfield. On the handoff up the middle, Fleming. Inside the 10 to about the 9, maybe the 8 for Troy Fleming. 2nd and 7, Tennessee from the 8. They can get a first down without a touchdown. Handoff, left side. Davari stood up and put down by Freddie Roach. From the Bama 6, heading towards the end zone to our right. The rain has stopped. Clausen under pressure, tries to escape, throws into the end zone, intercepted. Intercepted by Alabama. Intercepted by Alabama. Charles Jones in the end zone. His first interception of the year.
And Charles Jones made a lot of plays. And you know, every time I watch a Cowboys game and I see Jason Witten, who's an all-pro now, making plays, I always think Charles Jones intercepted a pass that was supposed to go to, you know, I always think about that. I mean, I think that guy was one of the premier tight ends in the country, and we kept him from hurting us.
The Tide tries the option with Croyle on first down. Nothing doing. It's Croyle back to pass. Brody rolls to his left and finds Triandus Luke, who takes a hit and fights for the first down. Bama goes back to the ground game as Nashville's Santonio Beard gains a tough 3 yards. With the clock down to a minute and a half, let's go back to Eli and Kenny for the exciting finish to the first half.
A minute and a half to go until halftime. Collins in motion. On the throw, wide open near side, overthrowing. 3rd and 7 from their own 34. Bama leads 7-0 late in the first half. Croyle to throw, steps back, steps up, launching one across the middle. Complete Alabama, caught at midfield, and on his way. Alabama on the move, Zach Fletcher. He's to the 15, he's to the 10, he's to the 7. A 56-yard throw. Alabama, Croyle to Zach Fletcher. Zach had the 50-yard touchdown reception against the Arkansas Razorbacks earlier this year. That will eclipse it with a 56-yard pickup to the junior from Lawrence County, Moulton, Alabama.
Eli, look what a throw. I mean, an absolute rocket right down the middle to Zach Fletcher. He just steps up in the pocket, throws a beautiful spiral right on the numbers, right on the 80, and then he takes the ball right in stride, turns it down the sideline, and it is caught from behind by a defensive back. Here they are at the 10.
Alabama 1st and goal from the Tennessee 10. A minute to go until halftime. All of Alabama's timeouts remain. Backs are in the eye. Option, pitch, Santonio to the 10, to the 5. He's up the middle, touchdown! Santonio Beard, with 52 seconds remaining until halftime, gives Alabama a 13-0 lead on a spectacular block by Greg McClain that opened up the inside for Santonio. As always, Nick Riding snaps, Sam Collins holds, and as always, the extra point from Kyle Robinson is good. And Alabama, in 6 plays, goes 80 yards. 2 minutes and 24 seconds, and the Crimson Tide is now on top by a score of 14-0. The waning moments of the half to give Bama a little extra impetus going into the locker room. A sky kick taken by Mark Jones of Tennessee. Big hole, 35-40. He has Ziefel to beat. He does. Now down the far sideline. Jones to the 15. Cuts inside to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown.
During Alabama's 7-year losing streak to the Vols, a play like Jones' kickoff return may have been devastating for the Tide team. But this Bama squad had a different mindset.
I think we tried a sky kick and they run it back for a touchdown. So that gave them a little momentum, but our players weren't down at all.
There was no momentum shift at all. It was just a bad play. And if you view it as just a bad play, as opposed to the wheels are running off here, this is about to get out of control, it doesn't affect you at all.
It's going to be a long game. It's going to be a 60-minute football game, so we got to play the rest of 30 minutes, go out there like it's 0-0 and win the half, and you win the game.
The two great rivals headed into their locker rooms with Bama still in the lead, 14-7. When we return, Bama tries to end the Rocky Top streak here on Crimson Classics. As Bama takes the field for the second half in Knoxville, the Tide looks to continue its ball-hawking defense, which had forced 4 Tennessee turnovers in the first half. Michael Ziffel's kickoff goes to the Tennessee 6. Better coverage here as Theo Sanders tackles Corey Larkins at the 20. 1st and 10 for Tennessee. They continue to have success on first down as Clausen finds Montrell Jones for 13 yards. Up the middle on the ground, Jabari Davis gains 10 before Antoine Odom wrestles him down. The Tide D steps up, dropping Davis for a 2-yard loss. Clausen finds Jones again on 2nd and long. After a nice move, he gains 14 for another Tennessee first down. Troy Fleming can't rein in this Clausen pass on first down. Herschel Bolden had good coverage. Big Jabari Davis takes the pitch on 2nd down and gains 11 before Charles Jones is able to wrestle him to the ground. The Vols are inside the Tide 40. Clausen back to pass. Jared Johnson applies the pressure, and Brooks Daniels almost picks the ball off. Bama's in need of a big play. Can they get one? Let's tune into the Alabama Radio Network to find out.
12:35 remaining in the opening moments here, third quarter. Wideouts left and right. Slot back and a tailback. Play number 4 is what Clausen is indicating now. Play clock at 5-4. Clausen the step, drop. It's tipped by Bacon, intercepted by Alabama. Intercepted by Ahmad Childress. He's got it and goes back to the 40-yard line. He's taken down there. Wayne Bacon with the tip. Ahmad Childress with the intercept. And Alabama's back in business on the Tennessee 40-yard line.
Ahmad Childress, 6'6", 345 pounds on the pass rush. If you don't get there, they're taught to get those hands up. Little quick drop and set by Clausen. Trying to throw like a slant or an out. Childress gets those hands up, or Jared Johnson gets the hand up, tips the ball to Ahmad Childress, rambles down to about the 35-yard line.
I remember that, watching Ahmad rumble down the field after he caught that ball. You know, first of all, I didn't think he'd ever be able to catch the ball. Then for him to take off like that, you know, this is arms flailing everywhere, just trying to get every yard he can.
It just looked like God dropped the ball out of the sky to him. When he caught the ball, he swapped it to the right hand.
He looked like a running back for just like a split second until, you know, he got that ball out there like that. And, you know, we know he was where he was supposed to be on the defensive line.
Ahmad made a great play and was able to keep the momentum on our side.
After a Tennessee offsides makes it 2nd and 4, Brody Kroll comes in and pitches it to Beard, who rambles for 18 before he gets hit late. Now, referee Doral Jackson might have missed a couple of knees down on this one, but Tide fans are not apologizing after 7 years of frustration. As the boos rain down from the Tennessee faithful, it's 1st and goal from the 8 for Bama. Beard loses 2. After a false start penalty, it's now 2nd and goal from the 15. Tyler from the shotgun finds nobody open. He has to take off, and he just barely gets it back to the line of scrimmage. After a Bama timeout, Watts again scrambles out of the pocket. This time, he picks up 5. Coach Franz sends in the kicking unit, and Kyle Robinson comes through, drilling a 27-yarder. Bama widens the lead to 17-7. Bama's 2002 defense again proves why it was one of the nation's best, holding the Vols to another 3 and out. Let's rejoin Eli and Kenny with Bama 1st and 15 after a false start from its 21.
1st and 15, Bama from their own 21. Collins in motion. Give to the tailback, Santonio Beard. Peels off to the near side, gets upended, but comes down at the 25. 6:17 to go in the third. Alabama by 10, 17-7. McClain ahead of Beard in the eye again. Collins in motion from the near side to the far side on the option. Brody to throw. Steps up out of trouble. He's going to now flip it to the left side. Wide open catch is made. Santonio Beard 40, 45, 50, 45 into Tennessee territory down to the 41-yard line. At the last second, a 34-yard release to number 34, Santonio Beard. That was not the play of a redshirt freshman quarterback. Luke and Thurman Ward wide to the left side. The former defensive back, now wide receiver, Thurman Ward. Reverse. On the option pitch, here's the reverse. Thurman is a former quarterback in high school. He's got it. He has everybody covered. He's going to run. Ward to the 35, to the 30, 25, 20. He comes right to the 15 and is taken down. Thurman Ward, the quarterback and defensive back in high school in Starkville, Mississippi, hangs on to it, pulls it down when everybody was covered, and scampers 24 yards. They'll spot it to the 17-yard line of Tennessee. Alonzo Ephraim with a nice block, too. Now the give to Santonio Beard on the 1st and 10 from the 18. He'll get to the 16. Now with the play clock at 6, Bama comes to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 9 from the Volunteer 17. Backs in the eye, play action fake. Royal rolls left, throws across the middle. Incomplete, but there's a flag on the play. Clint Johnston was upended by the strong safety, Jabril Wilson, at the goal line. It'll be pass interference on the strong safety, Jabril Wilson, who stayed stride for stride with the W back, Clint Johnston. It'll be first and goal for the Tide after the pass interference in the end zone. They spot the football at the 2. Tyler Watts under his center, Alonzo Ephraim. The beef is in the full house backfield. McLean, he splits left. Fulgham splits right. Santonio is in the backfield all alone. Watts under center with Audible. Takes it, rolls right, turns it up on the option. Touchdown! Tyler Watts on a 2-yard option run. And Alabama has jumped on top 23-7 over Tennessee with 4:14 remaining in the third.
Good plan down there by Alabama that time. They took the 2 guys in the backfield, moved them out like they were wide receivers. Nobody in the backfield, just Tyler Watts under the center, has the option to run the option either way, chooses to reverse out, come down the right side to the near side of the formation, finds the slot in there for the touchdown.
That's a play that paintings are made of. After Kyle Robinson's kick, it's 24-7 Bama. The Vols are down, but they're not out. There's a reason they had won 7 of these games in a row. On first down, Tennessee runs the reverse to Jonathan Wade. He turns the corner and gains 21 big yards. Clausen finds Montrell Jones for 12 and another Tennessee first down. This time, Clausen finds Tony Brown for 8. Charles Jones with the tackle. After a pair of penalties make it 2nd and 12, Clausen evades the rush and finds Jonathan Wade for a big gain. Charles Jones with the hit after a gain of 32. Tennessee goes back to the reverse. Leonard Scott makes a move on McKay Losher, and he's in for 6. Alex Wall's extra point was good, and the Vols had trimmed the Bama lead to 24-14 with less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. But the Bama offense will play a little keep away from the Tennessee defense when Crimson Classics returns. In the waning moments of the third quarter, the Vols had trimmed the lead to 7. Can Bama's offense take back the momentum? It's Bama's ball as we return to Crimson Classics. The Bama offense took over from its own 20. On first down, Beard takes the option pitch for a gain of 6. 2nd and 6 now. Shad Williams takes the pitch, and what a run by the Andrews, Texas native. 18 yards later, it's first down, Alabama. Shad again gets the carry, and he wraps up the third quarter with a 6-yard gain. Bama starts out the fourth quarter at midfield. Tyler Watts fakes and keeps, fighting ahead for 5 and a first down. Beard takes the sprint draw on first down, bounces outside, and the Tide picks up a 4th consecutive first down on the drive. Santonio gets the call again. This time, Alabama native Rashad Moore stops Beard for a gain of 1. After Tennessee takes a timeout, Watts keeps on the option and gains 6. It's third down. On the 8th play of the drive, Bama stays on the ground. Shad shoots through the hole for a first down and a gain of 8. Boy, Beard and Williams are wearing the Vols out. Back to Santonio now. He gains 4 before getting knocked out of bounds at the 15. Now Bama changes the pace. Up back, Greg McLean gets the carry and gains 5 as the Bama fans call out Moose. With the clock under 12 and a big 3rd and 1 coming up, let's rejoin Eli and Kenny.
3rd and 1, Alabama out of the I. Collins in motion from the 10. They need the 9. Hand off Santonio. He's got it to the 8-yard line, and he slips down there. It'll be first and goal, Bama from the 8. 10:45 to go in the game. Bama 24, Tennessee 17. Here's a first and goal from the 7. Option. Watch. Pitch. Sean Williams to the 5. And slammed down by Rashad Baker. Luke wide to the far side on a 2nd and goal from the 5. Single setback is Sean Williams. Watts under center. On the option. Tyler turns the corner. Picks up a yard, 2, 3 yards down to the 1. 3rd and goal from the 1. J.B. Klossner is the center. McClain in motion. Watts under J.B. On the option, the play breaks down. The play breaks down on the option because Justin Smiley, I think, lost his footing or something, and Rashad Moore came in right over top of him. This will be 22 yards. A normal extra point is 21 yards. The snap, the spot, the left-footed kick is up and good, and Alabama adds 3 more with 8:25 to go in the game. It's Bama 27, Tennessee 14. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
Tennessee might have kept Bama out of the end zone, but the damage had been done. Smash mouth football. 15 plays on the ground, 76 yards, and 8 minutes off the clock.
Whenever you put those kind of drives together, their defense is tired. They get really tired. And then that pretty much sets the tone for the rest of the game when you put a 10-minute drive out there. And on the other note, you're keeping the ball out of their hands. They're at a dangerous offense that can make some plays. You're keeping the ball out of Clawson's hands, and you're keeping our defense rested. When the Alabama defense is rested, they come back on the field. After 10 minutes of just sitting there, just drinking Gatorade, they're able to head hunt. They're just willing to go out there and take somebody's helmet off and get after it and make big plays. And I think that was a very pivotal point. It's kind of the proverbial nail in the coffin type of drive.
Holding by Tennessee's called on the kickoff, so the Vols take over on the 22. Clawson finds Tony Brown for a gain of 12. Another tackle for Charles Jones. This time Clawson's pass is tipped by Brown, hits Freddie Roach right in the head, and winds up falling incomplete. Troy Fleming takes the draw, but Kendall Moorhead gets him after a gain of only 2. On 3rd and 8, Bama, obviously expecting the pass, has 6 DBs in the game. Clawson's in the shotgun, but he has no time as Cornelius Wortham on a delayed blitz buries the Vols QB for his first sack of the day, Bama's 3rd of the game, and a league-leading 27 for the year. How about that? Shad Williams finally gets to return a Colquitt punt. He takes the 43-yard punt back to the Bama 46 and a 17-yard return. Everything's coming up Crimson. With 6:26 remaining in the game, the handwriting is on the wall. The Tennessee faithful are heading out defeated and dejected. The Tide wants to keep the clock moving. On 1st down, Beard picks up 3. Then Shad loses 6, but the clock is running. On 3rd and long, Bama goes to the air for the first time in the 4th quarter, but the ball one-hops Gray Folger. After a short punt by Bearden, it's the Vols at Bama's 48. Let's go back one more time to Eli and Kenny.
On a 1st and 10 from midfield, Clawson throws, intercepted Alabama on the near side. Charlie Peppra is going to run it back from the 50, down to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and he is hauled down at the 1-yard line. It'll be a 45-yard run back for Charlie Peppra on the interception to the Tennessee 1.
Attaboy, Casey.
Charlie Peppra, super effort. Attention, Tennessee fans, valet parking is now open.
Tennessee trying to get a little quick strike on the outside, like a flanker type screen. Clawson comes out from under there and just fires a strike out to the outside. Charlie Peppra reading it. Alabama in their 5-6 defensive back set up, knowing Tennessee's going to throw the ball. Peppra rolls up into the zone, steps in front, takes the ball back down to the 1.
Charlie was the first person I met when I got to the University of Alabama. Him and Anthony Madison. First people I met, and I was close. Obviously, I was close with those 2 guys because they were the first 2 I met. And when Charlie got that interception, it was just like that feeling you get when you see like your little brother or like your little cousin, do something good. I was not only excited, you know, that because we knew the game was over and that, you know, that was pretty much it. But I was excited for Charlie because, you know, he obviously had made a great play, and Charlie's remembered for, you know, making some pretty memorable plays in some big games. And so I was just happy for Charlie that, you know, he came up big, made a big play, and, you know, he kind of put the icing on the cake for us and kind of sealed the game.
And now Bama on a 1st and goal from the Tennessee 1. Watts under center. The give, Santonio, is he there? Nope, he didn't get there. And you know what? That's all right. You got a half a yard to go. Let the clock keep running. Tom Roberts, the fat lady's about set to sing. She's clearing her throat.
She's clearing her throat, and they need to expand Neyland Stadium to get some more exits here.
Boy, this is nice. Full house backfield for Bama on the 2nd and goal from a half yard away. Fulgham in motion. Watch the pitch. Santonio turns to left side. He's in. Touchdown! 2nd one of the night for Santonio Beard.
Nothing special, everything that they've been doing all night long. Just a turn. Tyler Watts just turns out from under the center, pitches to Santonio Beard, gets a good block from Shad Williams, who gets a piece of the linebacker trying to get penetration, and Santonio Beard walks it into the corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
It's time to break out those victory cigars when Crimson Classics returns. With a score of 34-14 and the clock winding down, the 10,000 Bama fans are right on cue with a perfect rendition of Rammer Jammer. Tennessee went 3 and out, and the Tide takes a knee to end the streak. And an old Crimson friend joins Eli and Kenny to take us to the end.
Everybody getting doused in water and drinks. I mean, it's great. Bama takes a knee. The clock is winding to 0. Alabama is back on top at Rocky Top. And now to sing us out here,
dancing on the tee,
is Jerry Duncan. Jer?
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no fog or smoke on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bills. Once I had a girl on Rocky Top, half bear, other half cat. Wild as a mink, but sweet as soda pop, I still dream about that. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. One more verse. Once 2 strangers climbed old Rocky Top looking for a moonshine steel. Strangers ain't come down from Rocky Top, reckon they never will. Congratulations, Alabama.
Indeed, Jerry.
I mean, I can remember looking around and you could just see it, everybody in orange, just kind of sitting like this. And, you know, like you said, they had struck up the band and we were all over there singing, you know, Rammer Jammer. And it was, man, it's just a great feeling, and it's just memories like that that, you know, you will never forget, just being at that place and at that time. And it's just, you know, it's just kind of one of those memories that, you know, that holds a very special place in your heart. And
for the first time in 7 years, the Alabama Crimson Tide got to hoist the traditional victory cigars that go to the winner of the 3rd Saturday in October.
Probably one of the happiest times I've ever think of my football career. You know, sit there and you know the clock's run down, you know, they're not coming back. And to give those fans the opportunity to sit there, because you know they wanted it maybe worse than we did, to sit there and yell Rammer Jammer like that. That was awesome. I mean, that was, you know, a really good experience.
You could hear a pin drop in that stadium toward the end of that game whenever we were leading and we're about to win that game. And our fans, you know, after that game, our fans erupted. They just erupted. No, I don't think one crimson or white shirt left that stadium. You know, they all came to the corner of the end zone and celebrated with us. You know, and so one of my best memories, you know, ever thus far is me and Justin Smiley. I got a great picture of me and Justin Smiley and Evan Mathis standing in the locker room, you know, with our cigars in our mouth, you know, just standing there, just grinning ear to ear, you know, because we had just conquered, you know, and prevailed to get something our team hasn't able to do in a long time.
And my mama called me and said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm smoking a cigar." She said, "I'm coming to get you." I said, "No." I said, "I'm a long way away," which is about, you know, and Killen's probably 20 minutes from Tennessee, you know, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee state line. And so there's some Tennessee fans, you know, on our side. And oh man, being that close, it's so different. And, you know, it's unbelievable.
And my little brother, Justin, was actually there as a Tennessee recruit. He was there as a Tennessee recruit, and he was in our locker room. He was able to sneak into our locker room somehow as a Tennessee recruit. You know, just came over there to celebrate with us. That was really neat, both my brothers being able to be in there.
Three cheers for Tide. Hit it.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
All right, I want to line up the latest in fight song.
Let's go, Zo.
Let's go.
Let's go, Big Zo. Let's go, Big Zo.
Roll Tide, roll Tide. That just about says it all. The streak was over, 34-14. What a dominating performance from a classy group of young men who stayed true to their university and helped make this game a Crimson Classic. For the Bryant Museum, I'm Gary Harris.